Get smart with your spending with Nucenda's Breeze debit card. We've got your back by offering safe and easy access to your money. Never any hidden fees, just an account that makes sense. Download the Nucenda app to enroll in mobile and internet banking, managing your funds, making person-to-person transfers, and rounding up purchases to save. Visit Nucenda.org to explore Breeze accounts and join our credit union.
New members must be eligible for membership. Equal opportunity lender. Insured by NCUA.
Welcome, folks, and welcome to another edition of Inside Santa Fe Public Schools podcast. I am Joe Abeta, and it's our first podcast of 2025, and we have a teacher as our guest today, Kacy Crews. They are the piano and theater director at El Camino Academy. How are you doing today, Kacy?
Doing fantastic. How are you, Joe?
I'm doing great. Thank you for taking the time. I know as a teacher, my dad and my brother were a teacher at Santa Fe Public Schools, and I know that prep times are they're coveted and stuff. So I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to come in and spend some time with us today here on the podcast.
Excellent. Well, it's nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and this is great. We're in your classroom right now. A lot of pianos I see, and little stages going on there for maybe choir, possibly.
It's for all of them.
Okay.
Elementary all the way up through middle school.
So let's talk about your program a little bit here. I see keyboards here. I see is that the congas there or
drums? Yeah,
maybe the drums,
African drums,
and then you have a regular piano and some keyboards. So and even guitars. I see.
Yeah.
So what is as far as the program goes? If a student wants to be involved in music, how is it? Explain that to me. How is it here at El Camino Academy?
So we do our class signups at the end of every year, and students get to choose what their preferences are, and we do our best to accommodate those preferences, and most of the time we're able to accommodate almost all of them, and it's based on student choice. Okay,
and so what is it? Did they say, I would love to learn how to play keyboard, or I would love to learn to play guitar? Do they, and if it's open, they're available, and they don't have to have any kind of background, or do they?
Essentially, yeah. It's we have beginning level classes all the way up to advanced level classes, and we're able to place the students where they need to go. Students who've already been in the class get first preference, essentially, so that we can maintain the program. It's not just a class, it's a program across many levels and many years. So we want to make sure that we maintain the integrity of that.
So what's the earliest grade then that they can join, they can sign up for music class?
We start signing up for electives in 6th grade.
Okay.
But the 5th graders get a sampling of all the different kinds of music programs.
Gotcha.
And then when they reach 6th grade, they're able to choose.
So music program, strictly a middle school thing that's offered here.
The specific instruments are specific to middle school, yes. But K through 5 all get general music here.
They get general music.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. So, I mean, that's great. I mean, that's something that growing up, me being an older guy and wanting to play music, we didn't have it. We had to pay for our lessons or what. So this is really a great opportunity for kids to come in. They can embrace, they can practice every day. And when you're practicing every day, right, you get better, correct?
Absolutely. And I had private lessons when I was growing up, but there's something really wonderful about being able to give 225 minutes of instruction for that student, every single student that's in your program every week, versus 60 minutes for a private lesson.
It seems like the reward is just amazing, right? Just to see when kids, the joy in their faces when they do accomplish a song and they do learn a song, and then with you saying, yeah, you did it. And remember when you came in and you didn't know anything and we taught you that, and now look at you now.
Yeah, and that magic of watching them find that power within themselves to do something they didn't think they could do is everything in teaching. It always makes it worth it. And we record all of our concerts, and then afterwards we play them for the students, and they get to see themselves and hear themselves. And that's a hugely powerful teaching tool, to be able to show them this is what you look like and sound like. And the progress they make in the 3 years in our programs are just amazing.
Well, what a confidence builder too, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I heard somewhere where that students that learn to play an instrument, it's easy for them to comprehend other subjects, to do high performing in other subjects as well. And that's to just the progression. Is it the wiring of the brain when it comes to playing an instrument?
It definitely has a lot to do with that. It also has a lot to do with the collaboration part of it. There's a lot of soft skills involved in music. There's a lot of motivation that it helps them overcome obstacles. It helps them focus and learn how to sit down and develop a plan for, I want to accomplish X, Y, Z in this practice, and being able to do that on their own, which is a difficult skill for a lot of adults to have, not alone, let alone children.
Yeah.
It helps them with just enjoyment of their life. I mean, humans love music.
Yeah.
We've always had it, and art and everything. And it's just a part of the human experience to be able to sit down and play what you want to play.
And it's also really cool that we have kids that are leaving knowing how to play an instrument, that we know we're going to have music in the future.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's definitely a good thing. So with that, they come in, they perform, they hopefully go on to play in high school.
Yeah, we have a lot of really strong programs at our high schools that we're feeding into, and we would love to do more collaborations with them in the future. At the moment, it's a little difficult to do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love the programs we feed into in the high school.
Yeah.
They're fantastic.
So you not only teach music, as we said, but you also have started a theater program, official theater program here at El Camino Academy.
Yes, that's correct.
So talk a little bit about that. What did you guys start out as a club? How did you work that into the curriculum? Can you tell me what the process was?
It started as an after-school group. Actually, the very first year, it was a children's choir. And then the year that COVID hit, we started our first theater after-school group, and we had to go online. And it took us 2 years to do our first musical. And even then, we couldn't do any choreography or anything like that. It was madness. But from there, we've grown and grown and grown, and now we have over 100 students in the program from 5th through 8th grade.
Wow.
And they are now classes as officially as this year. And it's been amazing to see those kids a few times a week and really be able to delve into things like literacy, honestly, that we didn't have time to do before.
Yeah.
The kids make the props themselves. They make some of the costuming. They make what's called the flat, which is like the background for the programs that we do. And it is so cool to see them develop over time and be more confident. And their speech is getting better. Their understanding is getting better. Their context clues are improving. And it's magical to see.
So it's not just from the acting perspective of theater, but it's everything that comes along with it: set design, directing.
Yes,
right?
all of it.
Oh,
yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Lighting, we have lighting equipment this year, which is really
that's
cool.
great.
We have students running the colored lighting in the background and the spotlight and everything. That's actually 3 separate jobs. And we have students who are learning audio engineering and recording and all kinds of really amazing vocational skills that I was doing in college.
Yeah, no, and it's great because kids don't have to wait to get to high school or to college to see if they may have a passion in this, right? To try it out in middle school and say, hey, I remember in middle school I did this and it was pretty awesome and I think I'm going to continue with it, right?
Yeah, and I mean, there are certain kids that are theater kids through and through.
Yeah.
And they do music on occasion and they like it, but they are very much theater kids, and it is so cool to see them blossom.
And it's great, like you hear in Santa Fe Public Schools in general, that we do promote the arts. We do support the arts because, there are the theater kids that may not have that available to them. I'm not saying here at our schools, but they have to go to like a club theater or something like that to be able to do that kind of stuff. But to have that luxury of being able to do that here is pretty amazing.
Yeah, and from a teaching perspective, theater is one of the most powerful tools in literacy development that I've seen for some of my kids because it really helps them put a character and bring them to life instead of just reading about them on a page and then answering a question about it. They really delve into the emotional, the tone of voice, the facial expressions, the body language, and all of that. And they kind of internalize the text in a way that they don't in other classes. And I love that we have it here, and I would love to see theater take off in Santa Fe for that reason.
And I think middle school also, it seems you'd mentioned these things, but also middle school is kind of just like that very, I don't know, awkward type time in one's life, when you go through, and it seems like theater helps along with that, with expressing your feelings and feeling comfortable with who you are, right?
Yeah, and comfortable with other people, honestly, because they have a hard time at the beginning interacting with each other.
Yeah.
But as the year goes on, they become a family. And I mean, I have 8th graders and 6th graders that are buddies now.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's almost the same as like when sports get together and they become a little mini family, and it's neat to see them interacting with each other and coaching each other and supporting each other.
Do you feel, having a general music program in the elementary school, it's a pretty, for kids that do stay and continue middle school here, there's already kind of familiarity, all right, of coming into your classroom, correct?
Yeah, they already know me, and some of my students have had me now consecutively for 7 years in a row. And that has been so rewarding in terms of culture building. And there's a huge level of trust that comes with a school that allows you to follow your students for this long. It's a unique environment really to teach in. Because I get to watch them grow up. And I get to see them every day for years and years at a time. And that's just such a neat experience as a teacher.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And a lot of teachers don't have that experience because they're in one grade level, but specialists like music, art, PE, all of them, we get that opportunity, and it's really cool. Yeah, no, definitely. So you mentioned the specialty, right? And where did your passion come from? I was born and raised in Florida, and the South has a lot of music traditions there. I went to a private school where it was widely available, and my passion in music started very early, like first grade. Okay. And I had the opportunity to join a choir when I was in 4th grade, and from then on, it was just instant love. And how many, and when did you start playing your first instrument? I started playing piano when I was 11. Oh, wow. So it's been a while, about 25 years. Wow. So let me ask you this, because, it's great. You get kids when they're, and we'll go back, we're going to take a little segue off, but the learning process, it's easier for kids to learn an instrument than it would be an adult? I wouldn't say that. I think it depends on a level of motivation. Okay. I think it depends on distractions too, right? As an very adult? Much, yeah. Okay. I mean, adults like to tell themselves that they're too old for learning things, but you're never too old to learn a new instrument or a new language. I started learning Spanish about 1.5 years ago, and wow. I'm able to teach a bit in Spanish now. Okay. About half of my lessons, and that's just having that motivation accounts for a lot. I don't really believe in talent. I believe in hard work and, motivation. Yeah. That's really what people mean when they say talent. And there are people who are more predisposed to being able to do certain things. Yeah. And I know that's definitely a thing. But if you enjoy doing something, if it brings you joy, do it. It doesn't have to be good either. Yeah, that's good. That's good advice. Yeah. So you were 11 when you started playing piano, and then where did that go to? Did you start learning another instrument when you got when you got done with piano, or you felt more comfortable to move on to something, or where did it go from there? I actually started going to an art school when I went to high school, and everyone played, sang, danced. We had different arts areas to focus on, and I auditioned for vocal music, and piano really took off from there. I accompanied my choir a little bit. I rehearsed my choir as a teaching assistant for a while. And after that, when I went to college, I actually started studying organ as well. And I was a church organist for many years when I was in college. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it kind of progressed from, vocal to piano to organ. And then by the time I got out of college, I like to just pick up different instruments and kind of try them out. And I play bass as well. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, so let me just I guess a
middle school question about the organ. So is it really, it's just a matter of knowing the switches and which pedals to hit? Because there's a lot of more moving parts, right, than you would a piano, correct?
Yes. And having the foot pedal as well is definitely a different element. And it's just a different technique to play the organ. It doesn't have a sustain pedal like the piano does. So your fingers have to do different things in order to make it flow.
Okay.
It's just a different way of playing, but the keys are the same.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So then when you go to college, let's go back on the main road here. You go back. So did you choose a performing arts college? How did that all go into play when you decided where you wanted to go to be able to continue your journey?
A big part of it was financial.
Okay.
I went to Florida State University because I had a full ride scholarship, and I studied music composition and theory. I'm a songwriter as well and a composer. So that's the thing that I thought at the time, that I wanted to sit in a room and 8 hours a day and compose.
Yeah.
And COVID definitely helped prove that wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I've written a lot of music, and writing is definitely a passion of mine as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So then you bring all this experience here to El Camino Academy. It must be very exciting, right?
It is. I love it here. It's an amazing school. I have amazing colleagues here. The admin team is top notch. It feels like it gets better every single year I'm here. I'm really, really proud of the work that the teachers and the staff are doing here, and the students. The students have been really working hard this year.
Is there a wait list? It seems like there would be a wait list to get a class like this. It seems right. I mean, it's such a gem.
We have a pretty big roster.
Yeah.
Piano and guitar fills up pretty fast because those are very popular instruments with young people, of course. And we do our best to. I mean, I sometimes accept kids over cap just so that they can learn. I don't like turning kids away.
Yeah. No, I gotcha.
Yeah.
So what? So do you still perform?
I do, but I have a toddler at home, so it's been a little while since I've performed. But I do have a band with my partner. Okay. And we have played out here in Santa Fe. Okay. And it's fun. I miss it.
What do you guys normally play? What do you guys gig? Is it like what type of music do you guys play?
We play a lot of originals, a lot of my stuff. Okay. Anywhere from folk music to kind of bluesy rock to jazz, even a little bit of rap thrown in there.
That's awesome.
Pretty much just whatever hits the creative spark at the time. And we've been a band for over 20 years now.
Oh, wow.
He and I. So it's been... it started out very different than it has ended up.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool. I always, I love live music. It's a big part of my family's life. I don't play an instrument. I'm more of a visual guy. I went to school for film and not for music, but I come from my cousins are musicians, and I got my daughter into guitar when she stopped playing sports, and she still messes around with it in college and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So music is one of those things that even if you give it up at one point, you can always come back to it. Yeah. And I know people say it's like riding a bike, but it really is. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because when I was in second grade, I took guitar lessons. And then in third grade, I took piano lessons. And I took it in a Catholic private school. And God bless her, the nun that taught me, she would fall asleep during the lessons.
Oh, no.
So it was kind of like that. But
you were soothing her.
Yeah, exactly. My keys playing chopsticks put her to sleep. So that was good. So Kacy, tell me what are you guys doing this for the theater? What are you guys doing this school year?
So we did an original play last semester. Okay. And the kids did a really great job with it. This semester we are doing the spring musical, and it is Moana Junior. Okay. So we have all the 5th through 8th grade students doing all of the music, all of the props, all of the costumes, everything like that.
Wow. Yeah. That's pretty cool. So it's a semester thing then, right? Yes. It's not a full
It's a fall play and a spring musical.
Okay.
So think of it as like project-based learning.
Gotcha.
The students currently, like for example, yesterday they made lists of props that we were going to need. And so we take the production team and they are going to be the ones that sit down and start making the props. And I mean, we have everything from a giant rock, made out of chicken wire and Mod Podge to, cardboard, flowers, whatever we need for whatever production.
And it's also, they're working against time too, right?
Oh, yeah.
As a project, hey, we got to meet these milestones here in order to get to opening night.
Yeah, their books say April 1st because that's the date they have to be off book.
Okay, that's awesome.
And they say it right on the front there, so they don't forget.
Yeah.
They can't be like, oh, I forgot. No, you know.
Yeah.
No, they do great, but most of the time in the past they've pulled it together really late and given me a heart attack. But.
So is it the same that did the theater performance that they're doing the musical?
Yes.
So
yeah, it's the same group.
So they get a little taste of both then.
Yes. And there are some students who were on tech crew last production who are now in the choir. Most of the main cast stays the same, but a lot of times we'll have a student who is like, oh, I want to be in the background, but after a show or two, they're like, can I audition for this part? So it definitely is a confidence builder.
And it's good, from 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, you get a taste of every part, every aspect of theater and music, and you can figure out what you like best.
Absolutely.
With no pressure.
Yeah.
Which is even better. Right?
Yeah. And I mean, most of the time, we do formal auditions, so they do have to fight for the part they want. Sometimes, hearts are broken because they don't get the part they want. And I've been there, done that as a performer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just part of the industry. But it's really cool to see when a student finds a niche that they didn't know that they enjoyed.
Yep.
We had a student who joined theater because their sibling was in theater.
Okay.
And they were really grumpy about it when they first joined because parents didn't want to drop off twice,
Gotcha.
And now this person is a lead, and they really found a good niche in teching backstage.
Pretty awesome.
And so it's just really cool to see that blossom.
No, that is awesome. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's always great to be able to see what we're doing here in Santa Fe Public Schools, but also, I think the teachers are what's making it run, right? And so I just appreciate you taking your time out of your day to be able to come in here in your classroom and tell us about what you guys are doing here.
And I appreciate you coming in and highlighting our amazing students. I mean, these kids, they are amazing.
Yeah.
They do incredible shows, and they work hard.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
No, I can imagine, and it's just great to be able to have, it builds their confidence up, and it makes a positive impact on their lives. And I know there's a lot of memories in middle school that I have that I'll remember for the rest of my life. So positive ones, So this is a great program. So thank you again.
Thank you very much, Joe.
All right, thank you. And that was Kacy Crews, the piano and theater director at El Camino Academy here at Santa Fe Public Schools in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Folks, want to thank you for joining us today. Have a safe week. Have a great week. Adios.